I have a confession. I am a diehard Halo fan. I've played all the games, read all the books, and spent weeks to months of my life playing Lone Wolf Ranked, Ghostbusters custom games, and making beautiful, detailed maps in Forge. After devouring the initial run of Halo titles made by Bungie, the series was passed to a new company who would take up the mantle, 343 Industries. While their first two entries into the Halo franchise, Halo 4 and Halo 5, were pretty good, they didn't quite capture the magic the same way as I remembered. For most of the 2010s, I assumed that Halo, or at least the Halo I remembered, was more or less dead. That all changed in 2018, when this trailer debuted at E3. Boasting a brand new game engine and an open world campaign, it felt like the franchise that made my childhood was about to make its triumphant return. Unfortunately, after setbacks, delays, and backlash to whatever the heck this was, my faith, as well as many others in the community, was shaken.
Does this look good to anyone? Nope.
This is the story of a game that was built up, crumbled under the pressure of expectations, and might just have a new life over the horizon. This is Halo Infinite. Before we start today's video, if you like our content and want to see more videos like Halo Infinite, think about subscribing and hitting the bell to stay up to date. We hope you stick around. Now, back to the video. After Halo Infinite's initial campaign reveal, which featured pretty lackluster graphics and the aforementioned memeable character models, many wrote Halo Infinite off as another subpar game released by 343 Industries.
A lot of the geometric things like that ship looked kind of bad just now. Oh, he sprinted. Okay, we can exit the video.
Chat's upset now.
With so much backlash for a title that was expected to be a flagship game for the release of Microsoft's newest console, the Xbox Series X, the decision was made to delay the game's release until winter of 2021. For many, this was a step in the right direction, as the game was clearly not ready to be released, and another year in development might just be what the title needed. So, after about a year of retooling and rebuilding, in July of 2021, the world finally had a chance to see what 343 had been working on. And it seemed that their decision to push the game's release back was a good one. The new and improved Halo Infinite had better graphics, more detailed characters, and the gunplay had pacing and weight that felt redolent of games past. There was a sense of optimism with how Halo Infinite was being handled, both by Microsoft and 343, and it was clear that the community's criticisms were heard loud and clear. Our first real look at Halo Infinite was through beta testing flights released to Halo Waypoint insiders. Through the flight program, players could opt in to play the game for a limited time and provide feedback for how the game could be improved. The first such flight took place at the end of July 2021, and those invited were able to take part in Bot Slayer, 4v4 Social Arena Slayer, weapon drills featuring new guns like the Ravager and Skewer, and a sneak preview of the upcoming Battle Pass. For a technical flight, there was quite a bit of content, and with streamers and content creators broadcasting the games to audiences in the tens of thousands, the hype train was starting to get rolling. This July build of the game featured things like destructible environments, and players were generally happy with the classic Halo feel.
Overall, the game feels much better than Halo 4 or Halo 5, and it was really nice to see the community was so positive and excited, and it was even better to see an interest from the broader gaming community.
However, while the gameplay felt excellent, there was one universal criticism: the game's Battle Pass. Unlike most games, where you could just play the game and slowly advance through the tiers, Halo's Battle Pass all but required you to complete challenges to make any substantial progress.
So there's no way to level it up currently, normally, by just playing the game. You have to complete challenges. I didn't know this, so after playing for 42 hours, I'd only gotten halfway through the Battle Pass, and even if you complete all the challenges, you wouldn't get to level 20 unless you put just XP boosts on.
Playing ranked games on their own gave you virtually no experience points, so there was no real reward for simply playing the game the way you wanted. For longtime Halo fans like me, this felt like a slap in the face. For years, Halo had been about earning the pieces you liked, whether through finding skulls, or completing Vidmaster challenges, or saving up your credits to buy that sweet-looking inclement weather. It's okay to have a battle pass and challenges to complete, but in Halo Infinite, it felt like the only real way to unlock things was to pay for them. But okay, we'll make some concessions. Games have been trending in this microtransactional direction for years, and with the multiplayer being free to play, paying a bit of money for color palettes and cat ears is by no means a deal breaker. After all, Halo Infinite's core gameplay was very, very good.
I really enjoyed the grapple hook. That was probably one of the best things that I have seen in a Halo title in a very long time. Being able to combine the grapple hook with the new advanced movement slide mechanic is so damn fun.
With two of Halo's biggest competitors flopping hard in Call of Duty Vanguard and Battlefield 2042, the stage was set for Halo's triumphant return. On November 15th, 2021, the game released, and everyone, it seemed, was playing it. By January of 2022, the game had more than 20 million users, but as of April 2022, on Steam, the game declined from 200,000 concurrent users to barely scratching 5,000. So what happened? Let's start by talking about game modes. Slayer, Oddball, Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, SWAT, Doubles, Team Snipers, Fiesta. These game modes have been in pretty much every iteration of Halo since combat evolved. But in Halo Infinite, many of these modes were either on a rotation or just straight up missing. So if you wanted to play, say, Ranked Free-for-All or SWAT, sorry, you're gonna have to go back to the Master Chief Collection. On top of this, the game launched with only 10 maps, which doesn't sound so bad. After all, Halo 2, 3, and Reach all released with only 11, but out of Infinite's 10 base maps, 3 are big team only, and 2 are not included in ranked mode, meaning that for competitive players, there were only 5 playable maps on launch. A problem that was exacerbated by the fact that Halo Infinite launched without one of the series' most famous modes, Forge. For those who don't know, Forge is Halo's in-game map builder, which allows players to create basically whatever their heart desires. In past iterations of Halo, Forge has been a tool for not only making art projects and custom games, but also creating maps for social and ranked matchmaking. Foundry and Sandbox in Halo 3, Forge World in Halo Reach. These maps were blank canvases for creators to build whatever they wanted, and this meant that the map pool had near infinite potential. Unfortunately, Halo Infinite has none of this, so players have been stuck on the same 5 competitive maps for months now. But these issues are dwarfed by the game's server issues.
I mean, how many? This guy's eating fucking bullets and grenades! 1, 2, 3, 4, hits a grenade!
Halo Infinite has been plagued by desyncs and server outages. The game's melee is straight up broken due to a lack of collision boxes on character models.
What?
We're gonna cap our spawn.
No way! This is the
Alright,
game that
flip.
people play!
And for a while, connecting to a game meant ridiculous wait times, if you could connect at all.
Fair warning, getting into a match is inconsistent. There's a dedicated server connection issue. I would expect nothing less.
The cherry on top is the game's absolutely abysmal bullet registration. I could go in depth about server desynchronization and why sometimes you see one thing while your opponent sees something else, but I think the most effective way to illustrate just how bad Halo Infinite's hit reg is to let pros and streamers do the talking for me.
Where are my bullets going? This game makes no sense online, dude. Where did my bullets go right there?
But there is hope for Halo Infinite yet. First, we're gonna talk about the HCS, but before that, let's have a quick little history lesson. Halo, for those who don't know, was one of the first video games to enter mainstream media as a competitive title in North America. While games like Quake and Unreal Tournament were popular in the 90s and early 2000s, Halo managed to capture the collective imagination of a generation of gamers. A big part of this was the support of Major League Gaming. MLG, founded in 2002, hosted their first major Halo event in 2004, and within a few years, MLG was the mountaintop to which all competitive gamers aspired.
Farouk was right when he was talking about how the first event was so small. I was there, and now when I look at this venue, it's absolutely crazy. MLG has done big things.
Boost Mobile helped broadcast Halo tournaments on national television back in 2006 and 2007, and throughout Halo 3's tenure as the FPS esport, rivalries between teams like Straight Rippin' and Team Carbon were absolutely legendary.
41 going for the final kill on legit.
However, with the release of Halo Reach, Halo Esports began to decline, and it wasn't until the release of Halo 5 in 2015 that the series began to see some of its former glory on the competitive stage. This was due to the introduction of the Halo Championship Series, a legitimate esports league sponsored by Microsoft themselves. The HCS boasted huge prize pools and hosted high-level competition for Halo 5 right up until March of 2019. Leading into the release of Halo Infinite, 9 teams partnered with HCS to build their roster of competitive teams, including the likes of Cloud9, FaZe, Fnatic, and G2, and investing millions of dollars into prize money, there's a chance for Halo Infinite that if HCS succeeds, the game could see a resurgence. The most recent HCS major saw some very promising moments. Crowdfunding from skins raised the prize pool of the Kansas Major from $250,000 to $350,000, and Sentinels took home the dub in one of the most surprising upsets in recent history, after defeating Cloud9 in the finals. Even though some pros like Snipedown frequently trash-talk the game and threaten to move to Apex Legends, the HCS is starting to gain momentum. On top of this, Certain Affinity, a company with close ties to the Halo franchise, is developing a new game mode, which many are speculating to be a new battle royale. With the competitive scene exploding and a new BR potentially in the works, players could flood back to the title, similar to how Warzone brought in a new generation of players to Modern Warfare. Still, regardless of all the what-ifs and hope from fans, at its core, Halo Infinite has a ton of potential to be a truly great game. So, although it's in a slump right now, we're excited to see what's next for the Halo franchise. This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive thank you to everyone on this list, and shout out to Jason B, Brendan, QB, Foxy Mauve, Pachanas, Pin, Sierra Shampoo, Spartacus, Tommy, and Yashichi for being Platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Steven, Noodles, and Marco for being Diamond supporters. We really appreciate it. If you want to talk to us, check out our Discord. If you want to support our channel and get info on unreleased videos, check out our Patreon. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Jonah, thanks for watching.